game of the season, potentially, we don't know yet your future, whether it will be your last match in charge. How have you found the last 2 months?
I've enjoyed it in some ways because obviously I knew at the time it was a huge challenge, and there has been a hell of a lot to deal with, but it's been enjoyable. Obviously, at the end of it all, we didn't get what we set out to achieve, and that's the disappointment. Having lost our place in the Premier League is the biggest disappointment, and that's something that that's been very difficult to accept. But at the same time, learned lots of different things about players and coaching and management during the previous 10 games.
What have you learned about yourself the last couple of months?
Well, I think it's probably the management side which has been challenging, and but learning about yourself is things that'll help me moving forward, and I'd prefer to keep them to myself, but that's something that I will do to make sure that I continue to be successful.
So much speculation about where the club will go from here, who will be in charge. Has the chairman spoken to you about your future yet?
No, we haven't had discussions, as I've said in previous press conferences. The chairman is the best in my opinion. He allows you to manage and get on with the job, and we haven't spoke.
Do you expect to have those soon after the weekend?
I'm sure that we will have discussions at some point, but because we haven't spoke, then I don't know when.
Do you want the job, Steve?
Again, as I keep saying, it's the situation with the football club at the minute is very, very delicate because of the way the season's gone, and I think what we have to do is we have to make sure that once the season's finished and the Liverpool game's out the way, there will be a lot of reflection on the season and what we did well, what went wrong, and ultimately where we are. And that's conversations that will go on, I'm sure, through the summer months, in hoping that we give ourselves every chance to have a quick start in the Championship next season.
The last couple of months, though, must have given you a hunger, whether it be here or be at another club. Has that given you a hunger to be a number one, to be the manager?
I think in assisting a manager over the last 5 years is something that I've particularly enjoyed, and it's always been top end of the Championship, promotion, staying in the Premier League. So being the number one is different, and as I said earlier, it's something that I've enjoyed, but at the end of it all I've been very, very disappointed with the outcome. But has it put me off wanting to eventually be a manager? No, it hasn't.
And is the chairman keeping you abreast of the search for a manager, whether it's you or someone else, or do you just work away until you sit down and talk to him at the end of the season?
Yeah, exactly that. And I think what we do, we have to prepare like we have done this morning, and we will do tomorrow morning for the game ahead at Liverpool on Sunday afternoon.
We spoke to Ben Gibson a little bit earlier. He said you're the right man for the job. He said your hands have been tied and you contained a very difficult situation at the club. Do you agree with that? Do you feel that way?
I think the players I have a very, very good relationship with them, and I think it's a mutual respect, that that we have. And I just think that Ben in particular has been captain of the team for long periods of the season, and together we haven't found the right combination to win enough football matches over a period of time from whenever the change was made, middle of March.
Ben this morning and also Grant Leatherfield during the week have said that, have alluded to perhaps a lack of togetherness that wasn't there last season, and that this season has felt different from last. Have you been aware of that as well?
Well, I think what the football club has had for the last number of years has been a very, very good dressing room, a very tight dressing room, and a real spirit there. And that's been obviously very, very evident with the team getting promoted to the Premier League, and that's what creates a hard-working and successful environment, and that's what we have to get back to hit the ground running next season.
Steve, how do you approach the weekend then? Is it in some ways a final audition for you in terms of getting the job long term?
No, not at all. I think it's like we've done for the previous games. We do all our coaching, we do our analysis, we do everything as professional as we can to set the team up to go to Anfield and put up a top class performance for our away supporters.
Any more for any more?
Cool, can I ask a couple more this year before something else? Sorry.
Okay, go on.
Sorry, I don't want to ask everything. We were obviously talking about Ben Gibson earlier. Do you think, I don't know how to put this, but do you think the club would require him in the Championship next season to come back up at the first day of last game?
Well, Ben,
The squad's strong enough?
yeah, Ben's contracted to the club. He signed a 5-year contract earlier on in the season, and he's a Middlesbrough boy. He's been captain of the team, as I said earlier, for most of the season, and he's a very, very proud Middlesbrough player. And what I would say about Ben is that he's committed to this club. He's had a wonderful season as a player, and a disappointing season for the club. And I have no doubt that Ben will play the majority of his career in the Premier League. So I think it's a summer to reflect once the Liverpool's game's out the way, and then we see where it all takes us.
You've got a fairly strong core. You would imagine that obviously came up. You would think would probably remain. What do you think needs to be added to the squad to come back up and smash it up this season?
I think obviously the core group has played a lot of games in the Championship and has had success. So I think we certainly need experienced campaigners, if you like, and bring some obviously some hungry, committed players that want to have a successful season next season.
And I guess obviously with Liverpool still having a lot to play for, you want to go there and do your duty and make sure you play your part.
Yeah, obviously, because Anfield's an amazing stadium, and a full house, a wonderful atmosphere. I think it's a great game for us to play in, and obviously Liverpool need to win the game, and I know, speaking to one or two of the players this morning, that everybody's really, really looking forward to the game.
Can I ask you just one more in your future? Should a new manager come in, take over as number one, would you be happy to revert back to assistant?
Again, it's that I've answered earlier. It's not about my situation. This is what I'm at a press conference to talk about. No, not really, because it's a game on Sunday that we need to prepare for, and anything that gets in the way of that is a distraction. So I'll continue to do that work. Once the Liverpool game's over, then I'm sure, obviously, conversations will take place.